Hello YouTube, this is Darkon633 and we're back with another Star Wars review. Today we're going to take a look at the Star Wars 3 3/4 inch Force Link 3 pack, which is exclusive to Target, which includes Emperor Palpatine, Luke Skywalker based on his appearance in Return of the Jedi, and one of the Emperor's Royal Guard. Now this is actually a pretty cool set, although it's a little bit pricey for what you get because it is about $25 at retail, and two of the figures may not be as good for some people, but it is nice to see a Royal Guard released in the set. But really the big part of the set is Emperor Palpatine itself. I'm really impressed with Hasbro in the way they designed this Emperor Palpatine, since almost every other Palpatine we've gotten over the years just didn't really match my standards, so I just never really got it. The only figure I got was the Emperor from Episode 3, which would actually just be his previous incarnation before he went full Emperor, leading into becoming the Emperor itself. And now we got a pretty nice looking Emperor based on the original trilogy. Anyways, we're going to take a look at the box first. The box is a little bit different than what we've seen, since it is a 3-pack versus a 2-pack. It says that it is only available at Target. Shows that it's Force Link compatible, and you pretty much get the idea of what the box is really pretty much saying. And we have a little bit of features, etc. We're going to go on with the Emperor's Royal Guard first. For what I could tell, this figure was actually going to be released a long time ago, but due to whatever reason it got cancelled, so it's nice to see this particular release get released now. It does have a Force Link chip, so that's the main difference for what I could tell what the original release was going to be. But other than that, it seems like this is about what we were going to get back in the day. He does have swivels at the shoulders, and he does maintain the same swivels at the hips, although the cloak does kind of hinder it. The head, for what I can tell, is pretty much a static piece. It could maybe turn if you put a little bit of force on it, but it's pretty much what you get. He does include this little pike weapon that the Emperor's Royal Guards carried, so it's nice that it at least has a correct accessory associated with it. Next, we're going to hear some of the Force Link sounds. So here we go. Let's try to pick it up. Since the Emperor's Royal Guards didn't have any voiced lines, that's pretty much what you're going to get there, similar to what we've seen with the Elite Praetorian Guards. Next, we're going to take a Luke Skywalker. Luke Skywalker is an okay sculpt, although he is designed in this very strange pose, which does hinder his movement if you want him to actually stand, and it's a bit awkward just the way it is. It's supposed to be some kind of battle stance, but I don't really like how this particular way that it was sculpted. Otherwise, he does maintain the same ball joints at the head. Actually, I take that back. It actually is a swivel this time, which is kind of disappointing, since I'm really used to the ball joints, even in the 5 POA, so it is weird to see just the swivel on the head there. He does maintain the swivels at the shoulders, and the same swivels at the hips. Luckily, he does include the wrist swivel, so you do have a little bit more articulation than the standard 5 POA, but due to his battle stance, you're not going to get a whole lot with this one. He does include this really nice sculpted lightsaber, but it isn't very different from what we've seen for Luke Skywalker figures in general. And now we're going to go with the Force Link sounds.
I am a Jedi, like my father before me.
It's a little bit tricky to get in to work.
I am a Jedi, like my father before me. This is your last chance. I warn you not to underestimate my power. This is your last chance.
You pretty much get the idea with that one. And now, finally, we're going to go with the best figure in the set, and that is Emperor Palpatine himself. Try to get Luke Skywalker standing, but just to be safe, we're actually just going to lay him down. Emperor Palpatine is pretty well sculpted, as I mentioned. His head is technically supposed to swivel, but due to the way that it's designed, you're pretty much not going to get much there. He does have swivels at the shoulders, and he does have the fused joints at the hips. Luckily, he does have wrist swivels, and he actually includes his signature cane, so it's nice that it actually is included. One thing that makes this particular release a little different than most is that he actually has alternate hands. We're going to remove both the hands here, and they just attach via these small pegs. So we're going to show quickly with this hand. It's a little bit tricky to pull off sometimes, but he does have these little pegs that are attached to the hands. And now, he does include these lightning effect hands. So it's nice that this actually is included, since it really does help with the overall look and value of the figure. So it's nice that we actually have these alternate hands, and it works really well in my opinion. You're actually going to hear some of the sounds.
In time, you will call me Master. In time, you will call me Master. Like that. Your skills are no match for the power of the dark side.
So he does have some pretty cool phrases within the Force-Link Gauntlet in general. Now we're going to go into some comparisons. First, we're going to take a comparison with the Emperor's Royal Guard, next to the Super Articulated Black Series 1, which was also released in the Vintage Collection for the Royal Guard. And, while it maintains the same overall design, obviously this one is more articulate, and it does have the soft goods and the blaster as well, so it makes it a little bit different, including the movable helmet and various other accessories. Next, we're going to take a look at the comparisons between the two Luke Skywalkers. Here's Luke Skywalker that is included in the set. As I mentioned, he does have that really lame pose that doesn't help him stand. I'm trying to get them together. Now, we're going to compare it with the Vintage Collection one, which, in my opinion, is definitely a far better sculpt, although I think the face sculpt in general is a little bit better on the new version. The hair is definitely a lot better on the original. So we're going to take that figure out to the side. And now, finally, we're going to take a comparison between the two Emperor figures I have. Here's the one I mentioned in the Force-Link set. And here is the one that I have from the Vintage Collection based on his Revenge of the Sith appearance. So it's very cool that we actually got some cool differences between the two. And I think this is pretty much the main Palpatine I'm going to be pretty much keeping for my original trilogy collection display, unless they decide to make one with his chair. So overall, this is still a pretty decent set for what you're getting with, even if it's a little bit pricey. He does include two figures, which may not be for everyone, but it is nice to, once again, to see a Royal Guard in the set. And really, Palpatine is the cream of the crop of this particular set. Supposedly he is going to get a single release, but for now, this is the only way to get the Emperor Palpatine. So if you don't want to wait, it's probably just better off getting the set in general. I got this at Target.com, and unfortunately, my first particular copy came out a little bit defective. The original version I had is actually missing a hand, and it came with two of the same lightning effects, but luckily with that, I did end up getting two Royal Guards. So, I guess it's not the worst case scenario here, since I definitely got a fixed copy this time around. Anyways, please comment, rate, and subscribe, and check out Hero Club and Hero Taku. Also check out Twitter, Darkon633, and don't forget to check down the other channels down below. Please check me on Instagram under Darkon633 as well, and please check the little bell at the bottom of the screen in order to see my content go up as soon as possible. Head back with more Star Wars reviews, but for now, I'll be seeing you later, YouTube. Bye.